Why are you the way you are?
Oh, come on. You knew that was going to happen.
I did. This is why I don't want to film with you in the house.
What? It's so much fun. Baby, you've had, admit it, so much more fun today than
It's so much more
any other
frustrating.
day.
Take two. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Afternoon Macaroon. I'm Coco. If you guys joined us last week for chicken noodle soup, you knew that my husband and I were sick, hence the chicken noodle soup. And this week, my sister is sick, and she requested that I make her absolute favorite dish of mine. And this is something that is creamy. This is something that's hearty. This is something that's warm. This is something that is a fall classic. This is the delicious chicken pot pie. Now, this one is going to be a lot more small ingredients, but it's because we're building that flavor, and chicken pot pie has that amazing creamy texture. So we're going to be utilizing some really fun techniques. We're going to be making roux, we're going to be deglazing, we're going to be creating that creamy, delicious texture to put all of the vegetables and chicken into, and it's going to be absolutely delicious. If you do want to make your own crust, you're totally able to do that for simplicity, because this recipe already has so many ingredients in it. I am using a puff pastry sheet over the top of it. I also like the texture of puff pastry. I think that light and airiness goes so well with the rich and creamy texture of the chicken pot pie filling. So please feel free to make this your own. But with all that being said, let's get to cooking.
We'll start off with 3 to 4 chicken thighs, 1 frozen vegetable medley, 1.5 cups of chicken stock, 1/4 cup of white wine, 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 shallot, 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream, and 1 egg. We're also going to utilize 1 sheet of puff pastry. So we'll pat our chicken dry and then start cutting it into nice even pieces. You want these bite-sized because they are going to go inside the chicken pot pie, so getting them nice and small and evenly cut so that they cook evenly. Melt 2 tablespoons of butter and we'll give our chicken a nice seasoning with salt and pepper. Once that butter is nice and bubbling, we'll add the chicken into the pan and we'll start cooking it. What we're looking for is a nice golden brown crust, so get this on medium-high heat for 8 to 10 minutes. Of course, we want to make sure that the chicken is cooked all the way, but we also want to ensure we get some great flavor with that golden brown of the butter and the chicken. Once we have that cooked, we'll add in our shallot and we'll cook it for an additional 2 to 3 minutes until that shallot is nice and translucent. Then we're going to start reducing the stock. So we'll add in that 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour and sprinkle it nice and evenly over our chicken. We want to make sure that we get every piece there nice and coated. Then we will slowly start to add in our stock and give that a good stir around, scraping the bottom to make sure we get all of that flavor up. And then we'll add in our white wine and do the same thing. So really you can see that Hallmark chicken pot pie texture starting to form. We'll add in our heavy whipping cream, or half and half. I've even gotten by in a pinch with Greek yogurt or with sour cream, but we want to make sure that it has that nice creamy consistency, and so we'll evenly distribute that. Put the lid on and let this reduce for just a few minutes, 4 to 5 minutes. What we're looking for here is the right consistency. So we want it to be that nice, thick, creamy consistency that we all know from chicken pot pie. When we've reached that, we can add in our vegetables here, that frozen vegetable medley, and give it a good stir to make sure everything's evenly incorporated. Then, for the brave at heart, this is the time for seasoning. I like to use a little bit of Creole seasoning, some Tony Chachere's Bold, but if you'd like to skip that, just make sure you taste and adjust with salt and pepper as needed. And we'll just make sure all of that filling is perfectly incorporated, and we'll start on our puff pastry. This is going to be the top of our pot pies, and we're going to want a nice golden brown crust, so we're just rolling this out and making a nice egg wash to go over the top of it. So crack your egg into a mixing bowl and add 1 tablespoon of water and give that a good mix, either with a whisk or you can see I'm using a fork here. Then we're going to use an oven-safe bowl and add our filling for our chicken pot pie, and you're going to want to fill this about 3/4 of the way full. Once you've done that, we can put our puff pastry over the top and make sure to pull the edges down to seal it, and then we'll cut away the excess. Now be careful here. You can see I cut too close to the edge when trimming and needed to pull back over. This is actually going to shrink as it bakes, so we want to make sure we give it a little more leeway. And then we'll add that beautiful egg wash on top of the puff pastry. If you want to do individual bowls, you can see here I'm just using some French onion soup bowls, and you're going to do the exact same thing. You will fill them up 3/4 of the way and then add that puff pastry over the top. And then we'll put that egg wash to make sure that we get that beautiful golden brown cook over our puff pastry. So make sure that you get a nice even layer, but this is a great way to make single serving chicken pot pies as well. So we did cook these in the oven at 400 degrees for about 30 minutes, and you could hear that puff pastry cooked through so beautifully, and inside is just the amazing gold of the chicken pot pie.
Thank you guys so much for joining us for this week's episode of the Afternoon Macaroon. Again, I'm Coco. If you don't already, please like and subscribe. It really helps us do what we love to do more and spread the joy around. We post videos every week, so we would love for you to become part of our community and help make our days a little bit brighter with good food and good conversation. Until next time, lisez le bon temps relais, and everybody, have a great day. Baby, for the people, did you enjoy the chicken pot pie?
Oh, you're actually recording?
I'm actually recording. Did you enjoy the chicken pot pie?
Oh, yes!
I'm gonna put that in.
We can just delete that.
No, it's going in.
No,
It's going in.